Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Jewish Health Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. This is another episode just like the previous episode where it's improvisation really. The last 2 weeks have been super busy. Last week I talked about my 10K run with my sister and I was just talking about the experience. This week is going to be another experience because something, I think it's pretty crazy to talk about, pretty eventful about my experience. And actually I've got some positive things to talk about and stuff. And I'm currently wearing this new jacket my brother got me from Japan, which I think is really cool. So if you check out the YouTube video, you can get to see this really cool jacket. However, I'm on a bit of a weird the angle of this, so it looks like more of an apron, but it's cool. So what this episode is going to be talking about, and if you follow me on Instagram, the Jewish Fitness Coach, you will see last few days have been quite eventful. Over the weekend, I was traveling to Israel for my cousin's wedding, and in total, since Wednesday afternoon till Monday evening, I was delayed for 55 hours of them. Wow, 55 hours. And you're actually seeing all these, especially in the UK, you're seeing all these delays in Manchester and so on, but actually it was completely different. It was from London and it was on the return trip as well. And it was really, really eventful. And on this Instagram post, I talk about just a bit about my thoughts, my feelings, and frustrations, and so on. But actually, what I got from this, and it's not motivational. I'm not like preaching or being cringe here. It's just something that I really appreciated and was my health on this journey, because some things aren't in control. I'll tell you what things weren't in control. So here we go. So once we arrived in London, we got told that would be a 2-hour delay. Okay, fine, 2 hours delay. However, we had a stopover in Bulgaria to get to Tel Aviv for our cousin's wedding. And once we were delayed for so long. On the first route, it got longer and longer, 2 hours to 3 hours, 4 hours longer. We actually missed a connecting flight. So we got to the airport and the other flight gone. So we were in Bulgaria and the only option technically was to get the next flight 24 hours afterwards, exactly the same flight. So we had to stay a day in Bulgaria, which was actually really lovely because my grandfather was born there, and we went to visit the biggest Sephardi shul. We just went to visit, not go in. And actually, we probably think that my relatives and many grandparents may have visited there. So actually, coincidence maybe, I don't know, but we made most of a tough situation with very little sleep, and you know how much I love my sleep, and then so on. But then the principle is that was something that I couldn't control. Yes, frustration. Yes, well, we're going to miss the wedding. So we made it to the wedding, by the way. As you can see, my little tan, my shoulders are very, very burnt, so they have been they've after sunned up. If that's even a term, after sunned up. Moisturized to get them safe. And the principle is that incident, and on the way back we were also delayed. The flight got cancelled. So on the way back, that was actually probably worse. We were flying back to Luton, and that flight got completely cancelled, and that was postponed to the next day, and this was the night. And all these flight delays, cancellations, were some things that we can't control. I mean, we found out the reasons of why these were happening, and it is what it is. I myself couldn't do anything about it. That's what the situation. And you got a few options. You can complain, moan, which we saw a lot of people shouting at the people who work at the airport who have zero control of anything. They have no clue what they're doing. The air hostess, on the way back, there were people complaining, moaning, and they were fed up as well. They were confused. They've had to be on a flight. They were as frustrated as us. And it's a really tough situation for some people, because some people may have some really, really serious things they've missed. I've missed a lot of things as well, but you've got to think about what you can do. And Instagram post I talk about is, you can see me in Bulgaria. It's quite fun. 5 o'clock in the morning, just put my thumbs up with a sign. And the main point of this post, the main point of this episode is, well, appreciate what you can control. There's some things in life you can't control, such as delays, such as things happening in life which you sometimes just it's frustrating, but it happens. But there's a lot of things you can control. And there was something that I appreciated with my health, how I'm able to make choices which make me feel good, like go to the gym, I eat nutritious food, I prioritize my sleep, I make sure I'm drinking loads of water. If you're not having enough water today, get some water. All these things that makes me feel good, and all the things that I have control in, I make most of. I have a very balanced lifestyle. And I really think having that that approach, that mindset of you've got a few decisions and you can either you got a decision to actually make an action, make a good have an active lifestyle, help me with things I can't control, because I didn't get frustrated. I understood that I couldn't do anything in that situation. I couldn't do anything in that situation. Complaining, moaning, nothing is pointless. It's a waste of energy. And I think it's because I understand that actually the things I can control, I make most of, especially regarding the health, because the last few days, my health has been out the window when you think about it. And that's another point. The last few days, I've had 3 hours sleep every single night. I've not had any protein shakes. If you know me, I love my protein shakes. I've had probably not as much nutritious food. I've had more food than normal. Amazing food. Love the food. I've not walked as much. I've not worked out at all. Sorry, I just had a coffee. It just hasn't gone down properly. And health has not been a priority the last few days. And so I don't feel guilty about it. A few years ago, if I was in the same situation, I felt really, really guilty. And this week I would have tried to be restricted in my diet. I would have worked out loads. And actually, it's just about getting back on track. So that's another topic, which to take from this is some things you can't control. If it does impact your health, again, can't control it. And it's just about getting back on track as usual and not feeling guilty that you've not been doing your usual routine. And that's why it's really, really important is when you do go on a diet and so on, or you do go on a lifestyle approach, is not to be restrictive and actually learn how to, over time, balance that out, the fun, family, friends, with actually being consistent with your training, nutrition, and having that balance. Because when these situations do occur, where you're not able to train for the weekend, or you're on a business meeting around the world or on holiday around the world, and nutrition and workouts can't happen, you're able to not judge yourself and you don't feel bad because you've already built this balance and you know how to get back on track without being so restrictive. So yeah, it's been again, this is a podcast episode where I was just going to record. It's the Jubilee Bank holiday, so I just thought it'd be a bit more relaxed and so on. So what if I was you right now, and maybe what can you do with your health right now, and what can you control? And I think that's the important thing I want to talk about, is what can you do? Because it's very common when you're completely starting up and you see all these influencers on Instagram with these perfect bodies and who train for hours each day, or maybe run marathons, or wake up super, super early to work out for hours. And you're thinking, that's health and fitness. I can't do that. And that isn't what health and fitness is about. For them, that's health and fitness. That's what you see on the screens. You trust me, you don't see what's happening behind the scenes. It's not all happiness. Trust me about that. So that isn't health and fitness for you. Health and fitness could be right now is, how can you walk more every single day throughout the day, or before work, during lunch, after lunch, walking up the stairs instead of taking the escalator? How can you prioritize an extra hour of sleep each night? Is that possible for you? Maybe it's not possible, but maybe you could do. How can you in your meals decide, well, how can I have more protein so I feel a bit more satisfied, help me with my training and so on? Or maybe could I take a few less takeaways each week and actually decide to cook more, so I learn more about nutrition, learn more about the calories I'm having, and actually I enjoy the process of cooking. Could it be, well, actually, I'm going to do a full along YouTube video today because I want to see how workout's done and I want to build my confidence. Maybe could I sign up to a 5K run next year, and it's a good goal to work towards. These things are health and fitness related. You can do these right. You could do at least 3 of these things, even 1 of these things today, and you're already on the way. A lot of it is so common. It's so easy for people to be like, I want to get 10 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds in the next week. And you want to look at this, and you're looking at such a long-term goal, which may take a year or a few months to take, but actually you're not. And then you give up after a day because you're not at where you're at. But actually, you need to take the next step. The next step is, well, you need to move more. You need to sign up to a gym. You need to buy a gym. You need to buy an outfit so you can work out. You need to take it the next step of what you control, of what you can do, and you can control this. This is amazing. I couldn't control the things on the flight. I'd be like, cool, could you land? Can you? The airplane is not here. I'd be like, oh, well, can you not just send it over and then make the airplane come here? I can't control that. But what you can control with fitness is I've got a time today, half an hour. I'm actually going to do 20 minutes of that walking, and I'm going to take the last 10 minutes of watching the Netflix program that I was wanting to watch. How can you increase a bit more activity into your life? Great coffee today, made it myself. I'm a big coffee fan. So yeah, if you listen to some podcasts on Spotify, I just had a sip of coffee. So if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll be able to see that. It's just finding things you can do, and that's the real point of this episode. Is you are in control, no one else is. With the flights, the airlines, they will control. The airports were in control, not me. With fitness, you are in control, not the airlines, not the flights, not your family, not your parents, not co-workers, not your children. There's barriers, of course, with everything. There's obstacles, there's challenges, work, and so on, but you're the only person responsible. So when you get annoyed and frustrated with someone else and because you're blaming them, actually don't blame them, because you actually need to blame yourself. You need to take more responsibility. And that's very common for people. Once you realize that, and I come from a place of love when I say that, because once you understand that and acknowledge that, then you're going to be one step ahead of, instead of complaining and never getting anywhere. So I'm going to leave it on there. I'm hoping next week's and the next few weeks' trainings is going to be a bit more educational. We've got a few guests coming up as well, which is really exciting, but I need to actually prioritize putting guest speakers every month as well. That's been actually a bit of a lazy side for me last few weeks, because I've been too busy with bringing new clients on, which is pretty amazing, but I really want to be able to get more voices onto this podcast. And of course, it's a Jewish health podcast, so it's not just a fitness perspective. We want to go through the mental health perspective. We want to go through food perspective, nutrition, and sleep, and all these different aspects, which I think could level up your health and fitness knowledge. Not just me talking for 15-20 minute sessions, which I actually really enjoy. I couldn't see myself doing hour sessions. I think I'll get exhausted, and I couldn't listen to. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm not Steve Barnett. I don't really want to speak for an hour, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you get a bit more self-reflection here and actually stop getting annoyed at things you can't control in situations, and then take action on the things you can control. Because when you take action on the things you can control, you'll appreciate things a lot when things are out of your control, and you just appreciate, actually, you know what, I'm really happy I'm on a health and fitness journey. A few days here, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm just going to get back on track and I feel good. It's going to help you feel a lot better. So take action. I look forward to hearing you. Look forward for you to hearing me next episode.